So we're here with Aaron Gamble. We're down in North Bethesda, Dinkers. This is a beautiful facility.
Yes.
Did it used to be a rock climbing facility, or was this just a do you know offhand?
I do not. You know, I'm familiar with the area, but not in the cut right here.
Okay. Well, we had some great games this morning. Thank you for being on the podcast.
Yes.
We're really excited to talk.
And thanks for playing with us this morning. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
We had a great morning.
Amazing drill session at 7 a.m.
Yes.
and then 2 hours of play. So solid morning so far.
I want to do that more often.
Yeah,
Definitely.
absolutely.
I can feel your energies, and it's just certain people that just, they're fighters, but they're also lovers. And what I mean by that is, like, I can tell you guys, you love people, man.
Yeah.
You know, you love what you do. And I think, again, from a holistic perspective, all of these things allow us to just keep going, you know?
Yeah, I truly believe whatever you put out, and I've seen it time and time again, whatever you put out, you get back.
Yes.
I mean, you put out good energy, that's what comes back to you.
Energy's contagious.
It's contagious, and you have more and just from a selfish standpoint, you get more opportunities, you live a better life.
You meet better people, better quality people.
Like, people should just be better people selfishly. I mean, genuinely.
So because you say that, when I look at my parents and I look at myself, I also have a sister and a daughter, but my parents are genuinely nice people. And I don't credit myself. People always think that I'm this nice person, and I'll say I am, but it's like I've convinced myself to be a nice person long time ago because of what we just said. In my mind, it just makes more sense to be nice.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that it's contagious. But I will say that I think it's in my mind to think that it's smart to be nice.
Yeah.
Where my parents, they don't even think about it like, in that way. I think it's just intuitive. So I get the best of both worlds.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. Yeah, I mean, like I said, if you're putting in the work in your 20s, 30s, 40s, you see it time and time again. You see individuals who, I mean, obviously you as a personal trainer see it, working out in your 70s, your 80s. I mean, it's possible, and it's possible to continue living a full life, that holistic life that you're saying, up until the day that you no longer have a life.
100%.
And I mean, and that's living a full life.
Yes.
That is truly living a full life. And I mean, I think everybody should be aspiring to do so.
I agree. Another reason why I'm so grateful that I found pickleball, there are a lot of sports in the world, but research has said that people who play racket sports live longer.
Yeah.
You probably, pickleball players, anybody who plays racket sports, we've probably all heard that or seen some research on that. But I must say that I know there's some pickleball haters out there, but I have seen old people play tennis. And it doesn't look as intense when I see old people play tennis as I've seen old people play pickleball.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, I feel like your reaction skills have to be better at pickleball than tennis, just at that later age in life.
Yeah.
You have more court to cover in tennis.
Yeah, you're in close range on a pickleball court.
When you're younger, so playing singles tennis can be a lot more intense in some ways than pickleball. But I would say as we get older, just reactionary skills, I'm going to have to, I know people are going to be mad at me, but just based on what I've seen, I have to give it to pickleball, and I think when I see older people play tennis, they're usually playing other older people. But I have seen old people play young people in pickleball.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So I think that's going to be really good for me.
Yeah.
To kick some young person's butt at some point when I get older to, boost my ego a little bit.
Yeah.
So, and I also feel like as a younger person now, I'm in my 40s, I do have a lot of athleticism, and I hope to maintain a certain level. But I'm learning as a person that doesn't have a tennis background, when we play against people that are more refined in their technique, they're not moving as much. So I'm hoping that over the years, I can just continue to refine my technique.
And be able to move.
And move even less or more efficiently.
Right.
That I think is good when you get older, when you really can't move as much. I would compare it to a basketball player that just, hey, they can't dunk anymore, but their three-pointers on fire.
Right.
You know, their shots are a lot better, you know?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm hoping to do. Less errors as I get older, you know?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's also that anticipation. Your pickleball IQ will rise as you have more years. You said you're
Yes.
2.5 years into your pickleball
Yes.
journey, so 5.5 years, 6.5 years, you'll be able to anticipate more. So then when you are old, you won't have to move as much because you'll be in the right place right away.
That's exactly what I'm hoping for, Sarah. Yes.
So as far as the local scene, you're wearing a hat.
Yes.
Okay, so I want to make sure that they get their shout out.
Okay.
It's a great logo.
It's a cool logo.
Super
Love
cool
it.
logo.
Yeah. So what are they doing? How are they kind of impacting this local community?
Pickleball Spaceman. I know one of the founders. His name is Paul Lee. Pickleball Drop Shop. He has personally played everywhere in the area. Very friendly guy. And we go to tennis stores and pickleball stores trying to find paddles. He comes to the courts and brings paddles to the people and has a lot of trust with the community because he meets people for the first time and gives out demo paddles and loaners in hopes that that you'll return them and that you'll purchase something, if you find something. But he's very personalized customer service, and I've gotten a chance to play with him. He's also a great player. I've gotten a chance to meet his other partners, and they have a physical shop in Atlanta area.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So they're not just online, and that's just opened up last year recently.
Amazing.
And they've even done something at the Bethesda One Life where they had a big demo day. And that was the largest event we've ever had at the Bethesda One Life. We had over 150 people on the rooftop.
That's amazing.
So that was awesome. Special shout out. Paul Lee, Pickleball Drop Shop, and the Pickleball Spaceman.
That's amazing. And they're on Facebook and Instagram.
You got it.
Yep.
And they have a website.
And a website.
Awesome.
And do they just have paddles, or what else do they have?
So I've mostly just gotten paddles from them, but they also sell gear.
And hats.
Yeah. Hats, sweatshirts. They do a lot of cool things. They sell anything you need for your paddles.
Okay.
So anytime you need anything for pickleball, balls, anything you need pickleball related, they have it or will get it if they don't have it.
Awesome.
I mean, he's my go-to, and the customer service is just person to person. Like, he's come to my house, he's come to the courts, he'll meet you at Dill Dinkers. I mean, you don't get that kind of service
Right.
anywhere,
Right.
like this, right here,
Yeah.
the pickle box. They came to me.
That's right.
This is the best podcast out. They have their own studio, but they'll come to you.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
We love it. I mean, we've been able to meet some of the. I feel selfish for doing the podcast because I've been able to meet some of the coolest people now.
Yes.
I mean, it's an amazing
Yeah,
experience.
we're having
like,
a blast meeting
Yes.
amazing
Yeah.
people.
Yes. You're
Like, I
building
mean,
a community
yeah,
everywhere.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, this conversation wouldn't be happening if we didn't have a podcast.
Yes.
I mean, like, we might talk in passing on the court, eventually get to know each other, but
Yes.
I mean, to be able to connect with individuals at the level that we do so quickly, I mean, it's phenomenal. And I've
is.
told Sarah and a few of the other guests, the only thing that I hope and that I get nervous about, I want to make sure that we do this justice because people who aren't in this community do not understand it.
No, they
do
don't.
not understand how amazing it is. They don't understand the camaraderie. I've played sports my entire life. I've never seen anything like this.
That says a lot.
Yeah,
But I would agree because I've played in over 10 different states and it allows you to
Pickleball.
connect with people. Yeah.
Yeah.
It allows you to connect with people very, very fast.
Yeah.
You know?
I agree. I travel a lot as well.
you're fine. You're fine.
My daughter plays travel ice hockey, which takes us all over the country, and I always try and find local pickleball wherever I am. And sometimes I will stay in touch. Like, we have a friend in New Jersey. I met her a year ago because I was in New Jersey for my daughter's ice hockey, and just literally Googling local pickleball.
Yeah.
And then you make these amazing connections. So then when I went back to the same place and brought John, we
You had
went back.
relationships.
She's a friend of ours now.
Yeah.
I love that.
That's just one
That's-
example. I was
Yeah.
just in Colorado for ice hockey and went to a local club and met the nicest people. It's something about the sport. It's not region by region, it's the sport. I come from a tennis background for me playing, and then as a mom, figure skating, hockey, lacrosse. I have never seen a phenomenon like the pickleball community.
Yes.
And we're going to be traveling internationally at some point and can't wait to explore the pickleball community globally. But
Yes.
at least across the U.S., anything we've seen has been
I've only gotten a chance to play in
unique.
Mexico.
Okay.
What was that like?
It was cool. It was ironically, I was trying to build community with Bethesda One Life, but not just that Bethesda location, with One Life, the company. And they did a retreat with all of their locations up and down the East Coast.
That's amazing.
And I brought pickleball to them in Mexico. They did it in Cancun. So that was like super cool.
Very cool.
And it's just easy. I mean, not as many people outside of the pickleball world came, but all the pickleball players definitely came
Oh yeah,
out.
that's an experience.
Yes,
That's an
yes.
experience.
Yes, and it's good because some people live in this area, and then there's people all across the East Coast that I was able to connect with as well. You know, so I mean, I just love it creates a tribe.
Yeah.
You know, it creates a tribe, the pickleball tribe. I've been out to eat, and people heard me talking about pickleball, and next thing you know, my meal is taken care of. You
Right.
know,
Yeah.
just small things. You know, so shout out to everybody that plays pickleball.
Yeah, this is definitely the best. I also refer to it as a tribe. Like I've always said to her, I've always had problems in sports plugging in.
Yes.
You know, and because as a highly competitive individual, usually the higher you get competitively, the less community you have.
Yes.
Yeah, the more isolating
Right.
that
Yes.
sport becomes.
And this is the first sport that I've ever really played where the higher competitive players there's still a community.
Yes.
There's still a
Do
community.
you think that's because the sport is still relatively new to mainstream?
I believe so.
You know, do you think that it can change in the future?
I think that it's on us to make sure it doesn't. That's
That's
truly
100%.
it's on us to make sure, and that's like half the reason that I wanted to start this podcast was to showcase. You know, obviously we want to do gear reviews and interview pros, but there's genuine human interest stories in these communities that are mind blowing and amazing. And if we can continue fostering that community, then we get to hand that down to the next generation.
Yes.
And pickleball was the catalyst for
Right.
those human interest stories
Right.
and the
Yes.
amazing journeys that people have taken.
Because I think
that
the
pickleball
beauty
inspired.
of this sport is that everybody comes from such a unique background because it is so
Yes.
new to mainstream,
Yes.
right? So out of high school, I was weightlifting, then I got into running, cycling. I was always skateboarding, longboarding, snowboarding. And now all of a sudden I'm playing a racket sport, right? And I play a racket sport now because my mother bugged me for years to play it. And I said, I don't play an old person sport. I was out running half marathons. I was like, I don't want to play this.
Yeah.
I got out, hit a few. I was like, I'm in love with this. But you get to meet so many individuals who have a history of sports behind them.
Yes.
And I think that's what makes it so unique right now. Now, is it going to be the same for, you see a lot of kids now who are starting to pick it up, right, as like a main sport.
Yes.
So does that change? That's why I say that's on us then to make sure that
I'm hoping
that
we can
community
keep it.
stays.
It could
Yeah.
change for that generation. I think you made a good point because it is such a new sport to the mainstream. Most of us still feel like we're students of the game.
Yes.
So we're not all cocky yet.
No, that's real. That's why
So we embrace other players
Yes.
more so than maybe another sport,
Yes.
like
'Cause-
tennis,
'cause I
where
would
people have been
say
playing
that
forever.
It is still a very social sport. I would say that I've noticed some small changes as I keep moving up the chain. Again, I think once you're on that same level, you have the community again. But that upper echelon, I think once you get to 4.5 and higher, it used to be 4.0. It'll probably soon be 5.0 and higher. They do start to separate themselves from
Absolutely.
you know, and it makes sense from a skill and play level, but I'm always trying to figure out how to get more people at the top. So like
Right.
for me, I mean, maybe I'm biased because I'm a coach, but I don't want to separate myself all the time. I want to see, because sometimes I feel like people need those opportunities to see how far behind they are, to be encouraged to get a lesson. You know, because sometimes you're like, why would I get a lesson for pickleball?
Right. They feel like they're a superstar because they
Yeah.
won in their 3-5,
Yes.
like their record
Yes.
or whatever.
Yes.
It's like, well, how about you also play with a 4-5 and see where your deficits are of your game?
Yeah.
And then also the higher you get, then again, that's on you to make sure that you're fostering that community. And
Yes.
obviously you are. I mean, no one else has seen it, but behind the camera, we've had like 4 or 5 people walk who light up, like can watch their faces light up when they see
So
you.
true.
Yeah, literally. And I mean, so obviously you're again playing at a highly competitive level,
Yes.
and you're still fostering that community
Yes.
and showcasing why it's such a great sport.
Yes.
And that is, I mean, that's the people we need. That's
Yes.
who we should be.
Agreed.
You know, I mean, yeah, it's great to be a wonderful player, but if you're not a wonderful person, what does it really matter?
Talking truth,
Wow.
my friend.
That's
Talking
so
truth.
true.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, like if you know, you can be the top player, and if
No, that is
and if
so
you're not
true.
great, like, and that's in any sport. I mean,
Yeah.
don't get me wrong, like I have, you know, I watch sports where I like the cocky guy.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
if he can back it up, like,
Yes.
yeah, I like that energy. That's
Bring
cool.
out those inner demons.
Right, yeah, like yeah, like uncage him for a little, but you know, I know. So we got lucky and we got to go see David Goggins.
Okay.
And we got to go see
The
him.
man.
Oh, yeah.
Got to go see him live, and it was a phenomenal experience because that guy is a savage.
He
I mean,
is.
he's insane.
He is.
But
He's
man,
overcome so much and he's so inspiring.
yeah, but the way that he spoke to people there, in the way that he speaks, right? I mean, but you could tell he genuinely cared for those people.
Yes.
His answers were not, you know, it wasn't just like pulling answers out of a hat. It wasn't.
Yeah, he was He's
He's a
really
special person.
He is.
connecting.
He
Yep.
is.
He's a special
Yeah, and I mean, walking away from that, like, I don't ever think I'll be David Goggins, but man, like, when you see somebody at that level of what he's doing, connecting with individuals like that, then I have no excuse.
No.
I have no excuse.
I mean, I'm still on a high just you guys talking about him. You know, I haven't met him in person, but great content, great story.
Yeah.
And it really comes through. And hopefully, you know, I hope to be at a level where I can communicate to people in a way that really touches them way beyond any sport or anything. Just penetrate their spirits.
Right.
Yeah.
And beyond the hour training session
Yes,
on
exactly.
these weights, you're giving them something
Yes.
way broader than that.
Yes.
Well, and the story that I will share this. Sorry, Mom, but my mom has always been an amazing competitive individual, her whole life, but a very caring, genuine person. My mother's one of the most caring people I think I've ever met, and it's something that I aspire to be. But just the other week, she got a message on Facebook from an old classmate that she had in high school, letting her know how she had looked up to her for years and that she was so kind and she made such an impact on her life. And my mom had no idea. Like, she had never been told
That's
that.
priceless.
And
It
it was
is.
a long, detailed, heartfelt
Right.
message.
Yes, absolutely.
The person could have just been like, "Oh, you're always so nice to me."
Right.
They spent some time and put in a lot of thought. It was
Yeah.
amazing.
Right. So even if we don't see those results immediately, like, you're making impact on people's lives and you may never know
But
what
just,
it means.
just hearing that testimony that your mom received, those are the things that feed a person that is a giver
Yeah.
in that way. I mean, that probably fueled your mom's being, just reading that and knowing that impact. You know,
Right.
it's basically like when you get a chance to plant a tree and see it grow,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so I mean, really, none of us understand what the impact we have. I mean, you truly never understand, and you may never, we may never get those
Yes.
messages, but that may be the thought process of someone when they think about you 50 years down the road. We don't know.
That's what I hope.
Yeah, so, but no, well, this has been amazing. I mean, we can't thank you enough for having us out this morning to drill and to
Yes.
play. This conversation's been phenomenal. Again, I can't stress it enough. Just from your social media presence and getting to meet you today, you definitely inspire everybody that I've seen here. Again,
Awesome.
people's faces are lighting up,
Yeah.
and you inspire me from just the content that you post on Facebook.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
just feel so positive when I see your videos pop up. I stop what I'm doing, I watch them.
That
and
means a lot.
Yeah, that energy is amazing. It's
Yeah.
a great way to start the day. And I can't wait to see what happens with your business with the two facets
Yes.
merging together and see how that expands. And we'll come down and
That'll be awesome.
participate in some of your events that you have.
Yes.
And
Yeah, hopefully we can get some workouts in.
Yeah,
I would
work
love
out
to do
together.
that.
That's the next thing.
Yeah,
Yes.
I would love to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're
showcase-
very dedicated to working out
Yeah.
to help us be better pickleball players, like how
Yes.
you said you want all your clients to have a sport.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would love to share that experience with you.
That would, we would love
Absolutely.
it. We would love it. So,
Yeah.
and we'll link all your socials below. We'll
Okay.
tag you and everything. We want to again make sure the energy you're putting out. Yeah, you need to be showcased on
That
a
means a
much
lot.
higher platform.